The legal drama surrounding the presidential election results continued playing out in a Detroit courtroom today. That's where a new lawsuit alleges the count has been so tainted it should immediately be stopped and independently audited.
It's not hearsay. It's not conspiracy theories, as I hear opposing counsel talk about. This is direct evidence, Judge, that he saw that happen.
And the recount process is delayed, if there's going to be a recount. The ultimate deadline could be missed.
Okay, let's hear some more now from the lawyer representing witnesses who say they saw all kinds of potentially illegal activity surrounding Michigan ballots. Attorney David Kallman, welcome back to the show, sir.
Good evening, Shannon. Great to be with you.
Okay, I want to read one of these affidavits. Now, somebody has sworn to this. She is a longtime employee of the city of Detroit. Jessie Jacob is her name. She says, I witnessed city of Detroit election workers going over to the voting booths with voters in order to watch them vote and coach them for whom to vote. She goes on to say, I was specifically instructed by my supervisor not to ask for a driver's license or any photo ID. She finally says, I was told to alter information to falsely show that absentee ballots had been received in time to be valid. I estimate that this was done to thousands of ballots. I mean, David, those are some pretty serious claims that she's making there and signing her name to.
Absolutely, and that's the type of information we were getting the end of last week, Shannon. We also have an affidavit from another attorney who was an assistant Michigan attorney general, but it was really Jessie Jacob that started, this and was giving us information, and she said she just had to come out with this, that her conscience would not allow her to keep this quiet. And she's a very strong woman. I admire her for coming out with this information at great risk to herself.
So what happens from here? I know that you had this hearing today. The judge said he'll have a decision by noon on Friday. Are you asking for an audit? You're asking for the vote to be stopped. What are you asking for? What does Michigan law provide for here?
Yeah, what we're asking for is really two things. That the certification of the results of the election be stopped for now, that they not be certified, because once those results are certified, no audit can be performed. And under the Michigan Constitution, we have a new constitutional amendment from a couple of years ago that allows voters to request an audit of the results of an election if they feel that the accuracy or the integrity of the election is in question. And so we're representing individuals, just members of the community there in Wayne County. We're not representing a party. We're not representing any candidates. These are just regular voters, regular people who heard about this fraud. They were both poll challengers at the TCF Center, and they feel strongly that the integrity of the elections needs to be maintained.
Okay, so when would the certification be? And you're saying once that happens, then the audit can never happen if you don't win here.
And that's right. Next Tuesday, the 17th, 2 weeks after the election, is when the Board of Canvassers is supposed to either certify the election or not. And at that point in time, then the only possible remedy is a recount of the votes. But that's really kind of a meaningless gesture, because all of the votes and the ballots that we're challenging here that were done incorrectly or fraudulently are now mixed in with all the other votes. And so all you're doing is recounting the same ballots, and it doesn't accomplish anything. We need an audit of those ballots, and that's what our Constitution allows, and that's what we're asking for.
Okay, really quickly, I just want to ask you, a number of folks, including the Detroit Free Press, writes this saying, these allegations do not show proof of widespread fraud or egregious misconduct. A lot of folks out there saying it's not going to change the election, that there's no real widespread claim here, so why are you doing this?
Well, I beg to differ. You can go to our website, greatlakesjc.org, see our complaint, see the affidavits that we filed and all the people who are coming forward, and we're getting more every day. And as Jessie Jacob said, this is thousands of votes. Mr. Larson, in his affidavit, says he saw the majority of the votes, the ballots that he was observing, were not being processed properly and being assigned to different names. So these are very serious allegations, and it's not just one or two ballots. It's thousands of ballots.
And as you mentioned the one affidavit does come in from a former assistant attorney general there in Michigan. So these are people who are willing to put their names and their professional careers on the line. So it's worth betting. David, thank you. Keep us updated.
All right, will do. Thanks for having us on.